I had to get into the sun. But back to what I was saying earlier. So once you on the plantation for so long, right? You're on the plantation for so long. Not just you. Consider what I'm saying. You're on a plantation for so long. You, for the men out there, for your wife, your children, your children's children, for the women out there, you, your husband, your children, your children's children, so on and so forth. Even if you have the fight in you, you know what I'm saying? Even if you have the fight in you, even if you have the resistance in you, complacency will kick in. You know what I'm saying? No one can fight forever. You can't fight forever. That's why God gave us the ability to have children. So when the fight in you is gone, they can continue to fight. That's how it's supposed to be done. Let me sit on this very quick. It's feeling beautiful out here in Georgia. And I don't even like Georgia. But listen, let me correct this though. That was rude. I don't like Atlanta. I like Georgia. I like the South. I like the heat. I like the sun. Correction. But yeah. So you on the plantation, boom. You on the plantation. Your children on the plantation. Your husband, your wife on the plantation. And you done been there so long. It got to you. It really got to you. And you don't even know how to move no more. But what I'm trying to say is you gotta always you gotta know that there's a way out. Always. Don't get too complacent. So the whole point I'm trying to make is in this scenario, God says, my people, you're free. Now I can tell you more than 50% gonna stay on that plantation. Why? Because that's all they know. The complacency got to them. He can say the gates is open. You can be free. But let me break down what freedom really means. You can be free. For those that don't understand slavery, that might not be, the African diaspora. Basically, if you're not like this, if you don't look like my people, just use another analogy. Like I said, a bad relationship. So if you're in a bad relationship your whole life, and then someone pull up on you, say, "Hey, I might could do this. We might can be in a better relationship." You might deny it. You might deny it just off a GP. You might deny it because you don't know no better. A smoothie. You don't know no better. So this is what I'm saying. When freedom comes, when freedom rings, a lot of us won't hear it. Because, oh, look at that bee or that hornet, whatever it is. Freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free. It never was. That's why people are so resistant towards it. Because freedom takes a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice. Freedom was never free. And the first stage of freedom is not physical. It's spiritual. And we under bondage. We're under bondage with with all of what the devil gave us. So everything that we intake, the food that we intake, the concepts that we intake, even being on the phone, all of it. It keeps us in this lower frequency, or this what you call plantation, or bad relationship, abusive relationship, because ain't nothing given to us. So what I'm trying to say is, it's hard. I know it's hard, because if I had a choice, I'd be on that Peter Pan shit. I would never grow up, because there's responsibilities that it's not your responsibility, but it is. We're doing work of our ancestors because we are the key. We're the key. We're the last. If we don't complete it, it's just gonna continue itself on and on and on. It's a never-ending story. We can get out of this because the gates are open. You know what I'm saying? The gates are open because He said we're free now. But none of us have expressed to God, how do we become free if we don't know how or what freedom is? How do you walk if no one told you how to walk? So you crawling all the time and someone says, walk. Stand up, my child. All you gotta say is, I don't know how to walk. No one taught me. But it's inside of you to know how to do it because those before you have already done it. I need you all to understand that. It feels so good out here. I need you to understand that. And that's why I took a hiatus off of this YouTube thing, because just being on the internet just drains me. Like, the world is so dumb nowadays. I just don't got the energy. But I've been inspired by a lot of the YouTube community collective, men and women, mostly the women though, because and I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years. I said one day, especially the melanated ones, one day the women gonna realize that they didn't fuck it up so bad that we only gonna get out of it when we all admit our way out. And on YouTube, lo and behold, the women are now saying, oh, we gotta do better, we gotta do better. You know, get into your higher frequency. They haven't fully admitted that they did wrong. But it's a one step forward is better than no steps. And I know it's hard for women to admit accountability because even in the Bible, when Eve ate the apple, she said, you know what I'm saying? She pointed at Adam, you know what I'm saying? And God said that Adam was responsible. So regardless of what timeline we're in, we're always going to be responsible. Always. So just know that as men, we're always going to be responsible. So, as I was saying, regardless of if you lived a life, if you live a life that you feel, you know what I'm saying? If you live a life that you feel that could have been more gratifying towards you, more entertaining towards you. Sometimes that's just not how life is. Sometimes that's just not how life is. Especially, like, just imagine yourself, like I said with the analogy. Imagine yourself as a slave. How many slaves you think want to go to the beach? How many slaves do you even think knew what a beach was? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things in life you won't get the chance to do because it's not about us, it's a bigger picture. It's about the end goal. There's a lot of things I want to do I know I can't do because if I do them, it prevents me from actually completing the goal that God wants me to complete in order for the offsprings, for the next generations to get to the promised land. Y'all got to understand this. It ain't about what life we live. It's about, do we get to the promised land or not? It's a goal. Humanity is a goal-oriented thing. Y'all need to understand that. Humanity is a goal-oriented thing. We all are. You think ants be like, I don't get to go to the park? Ants, it's a collective. Everything on this planet knows what I'm talking about. Every mammal, every being work as a collective except humans. Because God gave us a choice. He gave us agency. So we don't gotta fuck with you if we don't want to. Everything else on the planet understands what I'm talking about, except us. And this is why we fell. This is why we fell in the first place. Because we didn't understand how to get along. Look at that. You see that little bee? He been chilling over here. Now when I want to put the phone on him so y'all can see him, he'll fly away. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, don't give up. If you see a future, if you see a glimmer of light, you see that sun looking all beautiful. If you see any light in your future, Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? If I told you how much stuff is going wrong in my life, y'all would be laughing. Well, y'all be half sad, half humorous because I try to make jokes out of things. Not to take away the pain, but I'm naturally a comedian in my head all the time. But what I'm trying to say is this: if you, if in your mind's eye you see a husband, a wife, children, then continue forward because it won't ever happen if you don't go forward. And if it do happen, you won't be prepared. And everything God gives you, everything God does is through preparation. It's for preparation. He's telling you in advance. Even if I give you these things, if you're not prepared, it doesn't matter. If I give you a house and you're not prepared for it, it doesn't matter. If I give you the house and you're prepared for it, same thing. It's just that you're prepared for it. So, is that what is that? Anyways, point I'm trying to make is this. That's him right there. Oh, he can peep. He knows I'm putting the phone on him. Because every time that bee get comfortable and I put the phone on him, he disappeared. All right. So like I said, even though it's hard, try your best. Try your best to continue forward. And also try to implement some goals into your life. It'll keep you from going back into sin. The reason why people typically go into sin in the first place is because they're bored with their life. They don't got nothing to do. When I kept smoking weed, which I'm trying to stop. But when I was smoking weed, it's because I was bored. When I was having sex all the time, I was bored. And mind you, none of these things are, what's all this smoke for? None of these things are bad. None of these things are bad. None of it. Sex ain't bad. Weed ain't bad. None of the things that God allows us to do is bad. We just don't understand moderation. Humans lack the ability just to moderate anything because we're gluttonous. We're in sin. We were born into sin. And it's the goal. It's the whole human goal. It's the whole human game. It's the whole human I don't know, maze, whatever you want to call it. It's part of the human plight to find our way out of sin. It's literally like a game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, as I was saying, you just have to, you got to find a way to continue forward and find a way to see, find a way to know that life has more to give you, more to offer. Don't let this plantation fool you. You know what I'm saying? This land I'm on right now, I can bet you all of this was probably a plantation 200 years ago. All of it. As you can see now, we're quote unquote free. Has anything changed? And that's the mindset I have for myself. You know, has anything changed? Including ourselves. So just, just think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to be a superhero. But what I'm saying is, don't let the fight be in vain. Just in case you came back or had a child, do you want your child to live the life you lived? If your answer is no, then we have to change it now. Because the frequency is changing. God is changing the earth as we speak. And you don't want to be left behind. I can tell you that right now. You don't want to be left behind. You don't.